Building a Better Brain, the world's quickest, easiest memory system. My name is Clive Cable, and this is video 3. Welcome back, and well done. In fact, give yourself a pat on the back. Why? Because most people never get this far with any kind of training program. And that is what makes you different, special. And because of that, you will always do better than most at just about anything. In this session, the fun really begins because you are about to memorize the alphabet. Backwards, forwards, and in any order you want. And when you show your friends, they will think it's some kind of magic. They won't realize how easy and fun it was to learn. So, let's get started. Here are the next 6 memory pegs. 21 is not, so you imagine a rope tied in the middle, and on the one side you have something looking like a 2, and the other side it looks like a 1. So 21 is not. 22 is none, so you see 2 nuns kneeling down praying, and their bodies make the shape of the 2s. 23 is gnome. You see a gnome by a fishing pond, and you see his mouth makes up the shape of the 3, and his body and his toes make up the shape of the 2. So 23 is gnome. 24 is Nero. So you can see Nero fiddling, playing the violin while Rome was burning, and you have the body and the foot making up the shape of the 2, and as he's crossing over playing the fiddle or the violin, it's making the shape of the 4. So 24 is Nero. 25 is nail. You see 2 bent nails in a block of wood. One is in the shape of a 2 and the other one is in the shape of a 5. 25 is nail. 26 is notch. So you see a gun, and you see the 2 is the notch down by the left hand side there, and the 6 is there by the trigger of the gun. 26 is notch. So let's go over them again. 21, not. 22, none. 23, gnome. 24, Nero. 25, nail. 26, notch. 25, nail. 24, Nero. 23, gnome. 22, none. 21, not. Okay, so 2 and 1. You see the number is always in the image. 21, not. 22, you see the number there, none. 23, and you can see the 2 and the 3 in that image. 23, gnome. 24, Nero. The 2 and the 4 is obvious there. 25 is nail, the 2 bent nails in the block of wood. And 26 is notch. Now you're ready to memorize the alphabet. A. So you imagine the letter A dropping in the cup of tea. Okay, so the memory pegs always stay the same, remember, and what you're remembering changes. So this is a lot easier than you might be thinking at the moment. It's actually very, very easy to do it like this. So you imagine the A, and it's dropping in to the cup of tea. B, so you can imagine the letter B running up to Noah. You notice that I always use the legs on any object where I'm putting it into the image of Noah. So B running up to Noah, and Noah saying, no, it's 2 by 2. C, so I have the girls dancing round the large letter C. Massive letter, there they are dancing around it. And D, so we have the D come crashing in through the window and breaking up on the floor. So 4 is D, 5 is E. So I imagine that on his hand is the letter E as he's holding it up. 5 is E, so E goes with law. 6 is F, so I imagine the jaw eating a large F, massive great big F, and he's trying to jump his way through it. 7 is G, so I always have something winding it up, so you can imagine that the key is winding up the G, and the G is bobbing all around the floor at high speed. H, I have the bag of money, fee, go on top of the H, squashing it and all the money coming out all over the place. So H goes with fee. I, so I imagine a giant letter I bobbing down the bay towards the 9 part. so I is bay. 10 is J, so I see a large letter J across my toes. Okay, J is toes. K is tot, so I have him reaching up and he's got a large K, huge K, and he's holding it in his hand. It's very heavy and it's weighing him down. K. L is tin, so I put the L and I force it. It's a giant L that goes inside the tin. L, tin. M is tam, so I have the letter M sitting on top of this tam and crushing it because it's so heavy. M goes with tam. N is tar, so I have little wheels on the bottom of the N and I have it zooming around on the tar. N is tar. O is tail, so I can have the squirrel eating a giant O. O is tail, which is 15. P is tissue, so I have the letter P on the tissue itself. P is tissue. Q is tack, so I have the Q being tacked up on the wall. Okay. R is toffee, and the toffee on the branding on the toffee is the letter R, so you see a giant R on both of them. S is top, so I see the letter S spinning around really fast on the top. And T is nose, so I will have the T stamped on her forehead, large T, so T goes with nose. U is knot, so I have the rope pulling apart the letter U and it's stretching it wide apart. 21 knot. 22 nun, V, so I have the V in between the two nuns in the middle there. W is gnome, so the gnome is fishing out a letter W from the pond. W, gnome. And X, instead of him playing the fiddle, he's fiddling the X on his arm. Nero, so is X. Y is 25, nail, so I have the Y being nailed to the block of wood with the bent nails. And Z is notch, so I have the Z being shot at, and as you get all these little holes in the Z from the gun, the notch. Okay, so I want you to write all the letters backwards on a sheet of paper, but that goes something like this. Okay, but we're going to review. Use the memory pegs to help you recall them all, and do not try to work them out. It's vitally important that you use all 26 memory pegs. So let's go back and let's look at them one more time, a couple more times, and then you know what you've got to do. So Z, notch, being shot at. Y is nailed down by 25, the 2 and the 5. X is being played by Nero, 24. W is being fished out of the fish pond by the gnome, 23. V, 22, so you see the V in between the two nuns. U, the knot is 21, is pulling the U apart. The T, which is nose, is stamped on her forehead. S is spinning around on the large top for 19. R is the branding on the toffee for 18. Q is being tacked up on the wall by 17, tack. P is stamped on the tissue. It's like a logo or something. 16. 15, tail. The giant O is being eaten by the squirrel. N, you see the N zooming around on wheels on the tar. M is a huge giant M weighting down on the tam. L is the tin, it's 12, so L is being forced into the tin. K, tot, 11, he's carrying this giant K, it's very, very heavy for this little tot. J, you see a big J balancing on your toes. I, the letter I bobbing down along the bay for 9. H is 8, fee, so the fee comes down on top of the H and the bag breaks and the money goes everywhere. G is being wound up, number 7, by a key, and it's going around the place. F is being eaten by the large jaw, which is number 6. E is law, stamped on his hand, 5. D is ray, which is 4, The D is coming through the window. C is the little girls dancing around the maypole. B is Noah, and it's running up to Noah, and Noah saying 2 by 2. And A is the giant A dropping into the T. So let's just do them one more time. A equals T, B equals Noah, C equals May, D equals Ray, E equals Law, F equals Jaw, G equals Key, H is Fee, I is Bay, J is Toes, K is Tot, L is Tin, M is Tam, N is Tar, O is Tail, P is Tissue, Q is Tack, R is Toffee, S is Top, T is Nose, U is Knot, V is None, W is Gnome, X is Nero, and Y is Nail, and lastly Z is Notch. So let's go back to what we were saying before. I want you to write the letters out backwards on a sheet of paper, like this. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Okay? Use the memory pegs to help you recall them all. So do not try to work them out. It's vitally important that you use the 26 pegs. Okay? Pause the video now while you do this. And by the way, this is in your brain. I've been doing this for years and years and years. It works for just about everybody. In fact, I don't know anybody it hasn't worked for. So you can do it. Okay, pause the video now. So how did you do? Did you get them all right? If not, well, you know the rule. You can go over the video again if you need to. And when you get them all right, it's time to review and write all the letters out backwards using the memory pegs. And when you've done this 3 times, ask a friend to call out any number from 1 to 26 and then surprise them with your quick response. When you do this a few times, you'll notice your memory keeps getting better. Have fun with this. It really is a great thing to do. And you watch people, they're fascinated by how you do it. And enjoy your new skill. Enjoy the admiration you'll be getting as you show off your amazing memory. Then I recommend you take a break from this program to consolidate all you've learned so far. Then you can either come back to this amazing memory course in a couple of days, or if you prefer, you can wait 2 or 3 days before moving on to the next video in this series, where you'll learn the rest of the memory pegs up to 50. And in the last video of this series, we're going to bring it all together so you can astound and astonish yourself and everyone you meet with your brilliant memory. So that's it for now. See you in the next video.